My name is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman, and this is my friend Jennifer. And she has agreed to allow you to sit in on one of our sessions. So I'm very thankful. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
And so give me a minute. I have to acclimate with her. And right now my body, and what do you see? It's not hurting me. I'm not keeping it. But this is how I learned to communicate with the language with her body, as well as the frequencies that are higher than her, lower than her, the other side, listening to residues, first feeling the insecurities, the archetypes, what she's going through, what we need to learn. So I'm also then interacting with her guides, her helpers, the people that want to talk, and the animals. Did you just kill a fish? Oh, there's a dead fish floating by upside down. Never mind.
Yeah,
Because they're floating upside down.
I don't do very well with fish. I tried.
Well,
I really tried.
At least they're coming through.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up the past lives and the archetypes and stories that you need to go through. Where are you losing the power? The first thing is that my body is not wanting to breathe, so I can't take in life. Your lungs are about the process of what you take in externally and how do you adapt to it, process it, understand it. Are you just carrying it? Are you thrown off center? Are you willing to do it again? In this case, you're not willing to do it again. You have a bladder meridian that says I'm paralyzed. I don't know what to do with it, and I cannot go forward because I still haven't resolved what I'm doing. I know that when I do go forward, the same thing happens, the same feeling, the same reaction, the same fear. It'll be always different, but there always is the same theme. So once you breathe, so that's not the problem. It's just that you cannot get the energy to run through your system. Even if you exercise, it's not going to be the same, because this is due to, it's a recipe to life, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. And whatever the issue is in the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional determines how you physically are going to respond. In this case, I am seeing that every time I take a nice big gulp of life in, there has been fear that has been attached to it, and I'm not willing to go there. So then, it's also cues you to go into cellular memory of what you recorded as a decision, which now becomes limited, and then the belief that has to back it up. The decision is very simply says, I can't do it. So I have to cue myself when the family talks so that I can go back into who I'm supposed to be. There, it's safe. Because the result is, I don't want the result. The result could be the criticism, just the words, the fear, the humiliation, if you stand out too much, they're going to pick on you, and whatever the story is, okay? But the thing is that the cellular memory reaction, recall, is your body is going to chronically carry this and make you sick because this is what you know. Now, one thing I do have, and then let me have your arm, is that very simply, I'm hearing I made a decision that it's, I want to be sick. And is it because you want to say, oh, I want to be just like somebody? Is it because that's my escape? Is that helps me to get what I want? So it helps to get what you want. And you decided that inside the womb at birth. And this is a group consciousness. Is this, you picked it up from everybody else? So it was already written in your manual? You didn't write it, because that's the way that the energy of the pimp and hoe is. The only way that you can manipulate so is this part of the rebel? This is part of your rebel archetype of how you get what you want. If that don't work, then your rebel kicks in further. Okay, good, rest your arm. So basically, has there been something that you don't want to do anytime after 5 a.m. and it's a pattern you don't really want to do anymore, and you decide that you're supposed to do that pattern? Did you write it in your manual? Did you learn it from somebody else? You viewed and you said, I'm not doing it that way. Okay, good. So you learned that from your mother, father, anybody else? Mother. Which is now a genetic thing. It's not just a past life thing, it's a genetic thing, and it's a female gender thing, so now culture thing, so now we got quite a few things. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now let's look a little further. What I see This is okay, so we're going to have to stop just for a minute. The energy just shifted in the room. Yeah, see, my body, the energy is going infinity. So I'm hooking up to her chakras, but basically I want to hook up to her heart chakra. And the first thing I feel is that she doesn't have the frequency to run through properly, to back her up so that she can have the energy she needs to make the will move forward. And so the oxygen in her lungs are saying, but I can't take in the experience. I don't want to take in the experience. Once it does take in the experience, it doesn't know what to do with it, so then it becomes congestion. This is why I've coughed. What am I going to do with those energies? And it's not just the external that we can see, it is the unseen as well. It is when somebody gives you that look, and there's some that are obvious and some that are just not so obvious. But they have all this self-chatter, all this negative energy, or some type of archetype energy that they're putting out there, and you, unconsciously, your subconscious mind picks it up, and you don't understand sometimes why you react the way you do, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, her goal is that she wants to be happier. She wants to add more of the spirituality into her life. She knows that there's a purpose somewhere. Maybe she wants to be a teacher or a speaker or a healer. She knows how to do toe readings. Very good at it, by the way. And one of the things I need to help her with is to understand the other side. Yes, we talked about how she understands the other side of her sister dying and things like this. But this is different. This is the frequencies of communication with the astral world, with the regular world, with different frequencies within each of the dimensions. And she doesn't know what to do with it because the first time that you dealt with it was inside the womb at birth 1 to 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's my 1-year-old.
It was your 1-year-old. You don't know what to do with it. And you were freaked out by it, and you looked externally for help, but because we're one, we don't really know how to communicate. Even if we did, they tell us to let's stop our imagination. Stop pretending, stop, let it go, to make believe. But you knew it wasn't. You experienced it. So are you in your body completely? No. So what percentage of you is not the body? Over 10? About 8%. And this 8% is one reason why the energy is missing here, especially on the chakras on the right. Because the chakra, even though it's one chakra, it's the vortexes. The vortexes are spinning backwards. Some of them are locked, they're not moving. But I'm watching this particular one thing, and this is based on the relationship with that energy that's coming in that you don't understand, because the first time you met it, it was with fear. And your first response will be determine how you will live the rest of your life as far as the strategy, the decision you're going to make. And so your 1-year-old didn't know what to do. So I'm curious, do you know what you met? Do you know what energies it was? You just know it was something you couldn't see. This is why you're afraid to be alone. This is why
I'm afraid at night.
Afraid at night.
Things that touch me and things that bother me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you didn't have any...
all the noises I used to hear at night.
Yep.
So there's no way I was going to sleep.
Mm-mm. And so that's what you're running now, because you know if you get into this arena of spirituality even more, your body is going to have to meet those energies stronger. See, now my body just shifted big time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here you go, sweetheart. We started off in one thing in your everyday life and not sure about how you want to take it in. But then the 1-year-old's telling you that it's very fearful. I don't know what that is. My first time I encountered it was through fear. So you interpret